Day 70. Hey, what are you doing today? Shoot, today was a tough one. I feel like there's I guess in some regards there's always a lesson being taught or a lesson to be learned, but I feel like the ether's really trying to drive something home, and I'm missing it. Just had a tough couple of days. Just all work related. It's all it's just it's amazing what an influence work can be on my system, on my head, on my brain, on my emotions. Just it's just kind of crazy. It's all part of that prison and being under someone else's control, and trying to find an escape, a way out of that situation, and but I just had a tough couple days, and it's been interesting because I'm really seeing. It's really, with the way that I'm kind of studying myself, is really bringing my weaknesses to the table, to the forefront, and that's it's a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough it's tough to come to a realization of my own weaknesses, and see them in action, kind of thing, and recognize where I need to make changes, and not feeling too certain on what kind of steps I need to do to make changes. However, knowing that just slowly whittling away at the stone creates the sculpture, and I gotta just kind of remember that I gotta keep chipping away at it. That's the big thing. Staying on course. The couple things that have come up in the last couple of days is just throw a beacon out there, throw a light out there. On what I want, the end goal. Throw that out as a mental beacon, and see the light, and see it glowing way off in the distance. And as I see myself sliding off track, just kind of mentally reposition the ship, and head for that beacon, that end goal. And as long as I stay focused on it, I should arrive safely. So I heard an interesting quote the other day of something I was listening to, and I don't remember. This is very unspecific. I'm sure that the quote is totally incorrect, but it was an obscure number, something along the lines of when the Apollo mission went to the moon, they were off course 96% of the time. 96. And it was, I can't remember the specific number. I should have written it down. It was I'm sure it can be Googled and looked up. But that was an interesting insight that just kind of popped in my head from one of the pieces of knowledge that I've picked up over the last couple of days. Was the Apollo was off course X amount of percentage of the time, and it's something really crazy, like 96% of the time. And it was just a constant readjustment, a constant, get back on path. And the moon is a pretty big target, so maybe there's a specific point they were aiming for, but I don't know too much about it. But I guess my end goal is a pretty big target, and to drift off course. I guess I really shouldn't say it's acceptable. It's just it's not acceptable. It's a part of the journey. I don't want to say that it's I don't want to make exceptions for things in any way, but I just wanted to kind of talk about that there is I've created this beacon. Another thing that interestingly enough came to me, might have just been yesterday. It was yesterday or the day before, just here recently, was information on self-discipline, and really kind of taking control over a person's self, or over, in my case, over myself, and really disciplining myself to be able to do the things that I really want to do, and to be aware that success is not an easy venture. It is a struggle, and without the struggle, there would be no sense of reward. For something like just winning the lottery, perhaps I would have some some initial elation on having, you know, come into some money and, you know, some toys and some things to play with, but very quickly those would devalue themselves, and you know, it would life would kind of stagnate. I don't know that from experience, but I believe that. I believe that everything I've ever worked hard for has always had a much higher value in the end. So I guess in some ways I'm kind of grateful that I'm going through this. You know, just you know, it's just oddly enough, I wish it was easier. I wish that I didn't have to experience the torment. I'm just looking at this weird cloud formation. I've never seen anything like it. I'm gonna shoot it up in the video real quick because it's pretty wild. See if you can make it out. Sorry about that. Just an interesting side note. Sometimes it's good just to stop and watch the world around you. I've slowly been kind of incorporating just weird little aspects of my daily life and brief little segments of these videos. And you know, I've never seen anything like that. It's like little tiny eggs or something, little beads of water that might be hanging for something. However, it's in a huge cloud formation. It's a really weird looking thing. That's pretty crazy. I'm almost 40 and I've never seen a cloud formation like that. I don't know what it is. Anyway, just for what it's worth, it's the world is a beautiful, intriguing place. Good to keep the eyes open. It's kind of funny. Sounds kind of strange, but the more I look at that cloud, the more it looks like how I might imagine the wing of an angel. It looks like just crazy wild feathers. It doesn't really come out in the video too interesting as far as how spectacular it really is, but it's just one of those, you know, just really interesting formations. It looks like a wing. Pretty crazy. Be a giant wing. But anyway, I just want to kind of talk about that. The fact that you know, it's been a little bit of struggle, a little bit of stress, and you know, recognizing, starting to see my weaknesses, starting to see the things that I need to work on, and you know, just I guess what it really comes down to is, you know, to get pushed down and get pushed down, and just knowing, I mean, it's just a matter of, like I said, just whittling away at the big piece of stone to create the sculpture. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at now. I got this big ugly stone that I'm now aware of, and you know, physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, socially, all of it. I mean, you know, I'm just I really need to come at it with all angles, whittle away, and you know, it's really, I mentioned this in the last couple of videos. It's just kind of it's funny how this endeavor has taken this side step away from the initial goal, to go through this self-awareness and the self-change and the self-strengthening to get to that major goal. Just you know, wasn't what I was anticipating. What I was anticipating was some kind of hard and boring book reading on how to create businesses and marketing and laws and legalities and all those kind of unfun things, which that'll come. There's no doubt about it. At some point, I'm going to start exploring that, as will need be. However, that's you know, the initial steps have taken me down this path, and this path seems very valid, very valuable, and I'm going to you know, explore it to exhaustion, and watch as new doors open up. And you know, at 70 days in, this is not at all where I expect it to be. You know. Physically, I feel pretty good. I'm very happy with the changes that I'm starting to see, how I'm starting to feel, what I'm starting to be able to do physically, mentally. I got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work to do there. Spiritually, got a lot of work to do there. But it's nice to start to see those doors opening up. You know, there's let me pass through. I see now different ways that I can be practicing, different ways that I can be learning, and you know, I'm starting to become aware of my mistakes, and I think that's step one. You know, is to notice my weaknesses and figure out what I need to do to make my strengths better. So that's it, man. That's day 70. It's a tough one. 70 days in, feels almost as bad as day one. I may even feel as bad as day one, but that was a good thing because day one was so low that it inspired this whole thing. So maybe day 70 will be so low it'll, on day 140 I can look back at it and say, wow, you remember day 70? That was come a long way since then. So I feel like I've come a long way since day one. Not as far as I thought maybe I would have come in 70 days. And if anybody else tries something like this, somebody else probably move 100 times faster. It's just we all have our own directions, our own things that we have to learn or overcome. But day 70, I mean, still got almost 300 more days to go. So, and then the rest of my life. So, at least I'm doing something, not just a drift in the current of nothingness, of zombieism. I'm gonna get out. But anyway, that's day 70. Hey, what are you doing today? Thanks.